Welcome to the final episode of this year's Horrorween special. Today, we're going to be talking about Last Night in Soho, directed by Edgar Wright. And this film stars Thomasin McKenzie and Anya Taylor-Joy. And in this film, we follow Ellie, who dreams of becoming a fashion designer. So she moves to London when she gets accepted into a fashion school. And she also has this sixth sense where she can get these visions of people from the past or people who have passed away. And she gets this vision of this woman that gets murdered in 1966 in London. And she's going to do all she can to solve this mystery of her death. So I was pretty excited about this movie when I heard about it. I thought Edgar Wright was a pretty solid director, and I would definitely like to see him do something like this. A horror, murder, mystery thriller. And I thought with his visuals and his mind, this could be really cool. But was this movie any good? I'm going to let you guys know right now, starting with the pros. I like that this movie actually has a lot to say. Ellie really obsesses with old London, and she loves the music of that time and just that whole time period in that city. But I like that this movie tells us maybe not everything in the past was as good as we perceived it to be. Even if we haven't lived in that era or not, there are always going to be little holes in what we think is a utopia in our mind. And this film also explores a lot of trauma women might be facing. A lot of women are objectified in this movie and used, and it's really disturbing, but also very real. Edgar Wright also does a phenomenal job of transporting you to 1960s London. You really feel like you're in that era. He sets it up very nicely with the mood and the atmosphere, and he's always been really good at that. So visually, this movie might be one of his best, if not his best. There are a lot of clever shots, and the editing is just fantastic, as well as the two leading ladies. They are phenomenal. They totally nail their roles to a perfection. This movie also changes directions quite a bit, and I really like that. It kept me on my toes. I would really suggest staying away from the trailers. I don't think it gave away anything, but I just wish I went into this movie totally fresh, but they showed the shit out of this trailer. But yes, this movie is still really unpredictable. Even if you have seen the trailer, you're going to see some cool things and things you didn't see coming, and that's what makes the movie pretty damn exciting. And now on to the cons. I sometimes feel like Edgar Wright does not know how to end his movies, and this movie is no different. I feel like we watched 3 different endings and they just threw them all together. I think the conclusion of the film is very satisfying, but it did drag a bit because it just felt like, is it going to end now or is it going to end now? I didn't know. I feel like they could have either cut some time from the runtime of the film or just removed one of the many endings. And this movie also does a really good job of portraying some really nasty characters, particularly one guy in the beginning of the movie. You'll know it when you see it. I don't want to spoil anything. But the roommate that Ellie has in the movie is very over the top. She's a very over the top bully, so it kind of like was a little too exaggerated for me. Now, this is a pretty small con, but this movie suffers from one of those Google researches or I'm in the library trying to get some research and find some answers. I get kind of sick of that stuff. It happens way too freaking often. And this movie also has the cliche, I'm in the girl's bathroom and I'm trying to hide my feet while other people don't know I'm there and they're talking shit about me. Small con, but very cliche. God, can we stop doing that, please? But with that being said, I feel like this movie really needs to marinate a little bit, but I think this is one of Edgar Wright's best movies. With that being said, I'm going to give Last Night in Soho a B+. Everyone, thank you so much for watching my Horrorween special. I had a great time doing these videos. Honestly, it was a freaking blast. A lot of work, but I really enjoyed it. Please have a happy Halloween, and I also really want to know what you guys thought of Last Night in Soho. Make sure to smash the crap out of that like, subscribe, and notification button, and if you want to see more movie reviews, have your tickets ready. I'll see you guys at the next movie.